So in today's video, we're going to be going over the top 5 mistakes that veteran real estate agents make that lead to either a decline in business or them wondering why they didn't get that listing, or maybe one of their team members went to go work for another brokerage. My name's Justin Konikow. I own Prime Real Estate and Prime Media with my beautiful wife, Shannon. I'm the face, she's the brains. I think she's the smarter one in the relationship, but we've been doing our 10,000 hours in the industry and we're happy to share all of our tips and tricks. That's what we do on this channel. And the next video that we're going to drop, I think, is going to be about the top 5 mistakes that new agents make when they come into the business. So if you're one of those, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single episode, but let's get right into it. So the number 1 tip is they believe their own hype. And again, keep in mind, this is talking about veteran real estate agents that have their signs all over the city. Their ego has become way too big. They think they're the bee's knees. And then all of a sudden, some younger agent that is hungrier and is going out and finding more information, learning faster, networking, starts being in competition with them on their listings, and they don't really understand why. And they feel like that agent has no business doing that. Second, you get into that place of complacency, you've already lost. You should have a day one mentality in this business. So if you're an agent and you're seeing a level of success, I would challenge you to go back to basics. I go over a sales course, the same sales course every single year. How do I work with buyers? How do I work with sellers? How do I find business? How do I market my clients' properties? Because it's always changing. And if you're not changing, somebody else will, and they're going to take your lunch. Number 2, veteran agents, they assume they just have the business, right? They assume that walking into client relationships, they're comfy. They've known them for 20 years and they're always going to have that business. I can promise you, and I was taught this by a very smart salesman, actually my father-in-law, and he said, you're always having to sell yourself, right? You need to, again, have that day one mentality I talked about at point 1, where you are showcasing your value or finding ways to bring value. Builders, developers, I'm always trying to think like, market's hot. They could probably put a sign on and sell it themselves. Well, can they keep on top of the market data like I can? Can they increase the brand exposure of their own company with the network that I have? The answer to those questions, no, because I'm actually in it more frequently than they are. If they stop building their building to start becoming a media company and marketing and branding, then they're not focusing on what actually makes them money. So we will come in and patch those holes for them. So think of ways that you can bring your clients more value. Number 3 mistake that veteran agents make is thinking new ideas are silly. I can promise you, I have very loyal people all over the city, and I've been told many times in the past, doing our listing videos was silly. Being on Clubhouse was silly. Instagram doesn't work. Every single one of those platforms has generated 6 figures for our business and is the reason clients hire us. When I take my little cell phone and post a video and give a new development update site, the audience we've built on those platforms, literally I can click through it and it's local agents, mortgage agents, it's people in the community, business owners, developers. Like I can go on and on. That is real ability to reach consumers. So understand that I don't care about social media. Yeah, I'm posting this on a social media site, but I care about attention, right? Where are the consumers paying attention? And now they don't want to search for stuff. They want stuff hand delivered to them. So I promise you, if you think some new idea is silly, it usually means that you're insecure and you're scared and you don't want to adapt. So change that mentality, which is number 4, unwillingness to adapt, which is fine. People say, I can't do digital, right? I don't want to be on the videos. You don't actually have to. There's a lot of ways to do things without doing something like this, but you need to either bring it in and make it a part of your business so you can bring your client value, or find a way to adapt. Doing things the way that they've always been done, to me, is the quickest way to become a dinosaur in this business. Case in point, there are technology companies coming into the industry that are going to level the playing field. You know, bad agents are overpaid, good agents are undervalued. I do think a lot of those bad agents are going to become employees of these companies if they don't have a value prop beyond providing data, right? Consumers can get their own sold data. I hope you can get your own sold data so we can talk the same language, because my value prop is not a sold data or a data point of what your neighbor sold his house for. That I promise you. Yep, this is number 5. Could be number 1 mistake that veteran agents make, a scarcity mentality. And I've seen this through and through. I don't want to share my marketing secrets with you because you're going to steal them. I don't want to tell you anything about how I succeeded or got through a really difficult file because you're going to steal them. I don't want to share any information on new development or all these different things. We share everything openly here. You know what happens when you give somebody an idea? It forces you to actually go out, refine your idea, and get another one. I literally shared my entire listing standard operating procedure in a public group of real estate agents across North America that I collaborate with. What did that do? One came in today and we were just chopping it up. She has the document. That document's evolved significantly since I actually released it out there in the wild, right? Plus, maybe it helped somebody, right? Maybe it saved some little old lady's life or somebody's, sale from going sideways because they got a piece of value from that. If you give without expectation and live in a world of abundance, I promise you, you'll be much, much happier than if you live in a world of scarcity. Too many people in this business spend their time counting other people's money, feeling like they deserve the business, but go ahead and get it. Instead of complaining, instead of always looking at what other people are doing, maybe look at what you're doing. Do your actions map to your ambitions? If not, change your actions or change your ambitions. Thank you for joining us on this episode. Again, we're going to be talking about 5 mistakes new agents make in this business. If you want any specific topics covered, drop it in the comments. We are here for you. This is for the people, by the people. Again, no charge, just happy to help. And hopefully you got some value from this video. If you did, let me know. It's all that I ask. Take care.